Greetings, I'm Barrett, and welcome to Meet Me at the Table. We are continuing our playthrough of Middara. We're going through the crawl mode, we're on cavern fumigation, and we are attempting to deliver the bug bomb to somewhere in the cavern. And we are also being attacked by Whopper. He's this huge, giant warrior cave sickle. Now in the last video, we ran all the way up here and we did pretty good. We're kind of out of his line of sight, so we're gonna see how this all transpires. One thing I wanna mention though, before we begin, is I actually failed to mention this as I was moving all my guys. Cave Sickle's anatomy here says the cave sickle has immunity to poison, and movement points cost is not increased by terrain or allies. And that is why they're able to move through the water and through hindering terrain without having to pay an extra speed point. Also in the last video, I noticed I missed this a lot, so we're not going to miss this anymore. I want to make sure we can always take advantage of that one move, because that could actually be pretty key. Are you ready to see if our adventurers can make it through cavern fumigation and maybe take out Whopper or deliver the bug bomb? Or who knows, maybe we can do both. To find out, I need you to meet me at the table.
Hello, good morning. Open up your eyes. Hello, good morning. The magic's still inside. Never loved you more than I do now. Living in a sentimental city, right next to an evil town. Hello, good morning. Open up your eyes. Hello, good morning.
So if you noticed, I've gone ahead and turned all the initiative cards back over to the backside. According to our 1.1 rulebook, we have to go ahead and shuffle these every time we get to the next round. Now that can be good and bad. It could be good because you may have your tank all the way in the back, and for the entire encounter, he's never going to have any of the characters attack him if it's based on the card priority. But in the flip side, you might have a plan for, let's say, this cave sickle right here. And right now, I'm not going to know when that cave sickle goes. If it goes before my plan, that cave sickle is going to go nuts. All right, so we're going to give these cards a truffle shuffle here. Truffle shuffle, and we're going to see who's first. Cave sickles 4 through 6. Hence, my plan is not going to happen. All right, let's see who's next. Next is going to be Remy, who's probably going to be getting out of there. Then we got Rook. Then we've got cave sickles 1 through 3. The next person is Nightingale. Then we got Zeke, and the last one's going to be Whopper. All right, that's actually going to be good. I'm glad he's going after them, and I'll explain that when it comes to that point. But for the time being, we have to start with cave sickles 4 through 6. So our cave sickles 4 through 6 are the blue, green, and pink cave sickles. So it's going to be this one. It's the only one that's going to activate. So we're going to see what it says here. It says, is there an opponent adjacent? No. Is there an opponent within range 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, there is. It's Nightingale. So Nightingale is going to be attacked. It says make a range 4 attack. Then move to be adjacent to the opponent with the most damage within movement range. Then make an attack. Follow up, inflict poison, force 9. So she's going to be attacked twice. Once from range, which she's going to gain a +2 defense to because it's shooting through an ally, and it's shooting into hindering terrain here that she's standing on. Then it's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to be adjacent to her, and it's again going to make a melee attack against her. So our cave sickle is going to go ahead and make its ranged attack. Now Remy hasn't gone yet, so she doesn't have any stamina points, and she hasn't refreshed yet her occult t-shirt, so she can't use this at all. So she's just kind of at the mercy of this cave sickle, who gets to roll a white and orange die because there's one other cave sickle within its sphere of influence. So let's see what happens to poor Remy. 10. Nothing, because Remy gets to add 2 to her defense because she's standing and hindering, and he's shooting through an ally. So now we're going to go on to its second attack, which is going to be its melee attack. So it's going to roll again, and let's see how it does against her. Oh, this time it got a 10, and again it's going to miss because Remy's base defense is a 9, +1 because of her armored or ability core here, and she's also standing and hindering terrain, so she has an 11 defense. So, oh my goodness, I got absolutely lucky. Glad I put her in hindering. So we survived the onslaught of the green cave sickle. It's going to be Remy's turn next. So Remy's going to grab 3 stamina points, and she's going to unexhaust absolutely everything she has. Her occult t-shirt, her ability core, and both of her abilities, Precision Strike and like the shadows. They're all going to become unexhausted, and she's going to be able to use some. The first one we're going to do is like the shadows. I really need to get her kind of away from these cave sickles a little bit. She's going to move up to 2 spaces. This movement does not provoke break attacks. So she's going to move, I think before she moves, she's going to shoot this guy right in the face. She's going to use 2 of her stamina points, and she's going to shoot her longbow right into that guy and see what happens. And she's going to use her precise strike ability. And I think I'm also going to take advantage of her, if you haven't made a move action this turn, gain +1 to your attack rolls. If you gain this bonus, you may not make a move this turn. You know, that's going to be okay, because I think I'm just going to go ahead and eventually use this to move, and that I think will be enough movement for her, because I don't want her to get way off ahead like I did last time and she got beat down by a bunch of cave sickles. All right, so she's going to go ahead, or I should say attacked by a bunch of cave sickles. She actually didn't take too much damage. She did okay. So let's see what she does with her bow. So Remy has her longbow, and she also has her precise strike. And of course, down here I can exhaust this to empower. We're going to do that. I'm going to take my empowering die, and I'm going to take my purple and my white die, and we're going to go ahead and see what we can do to that cave sickle. Oh, we can do a lot to that cave sickle. Let's see what we can do. Well, one's we're going to be able to move, which is pretty sweet. Oh, but I think I'm going to take break attacks if I try to move. I should have moved first. Darn. Okay. We're going to do 11 over his defense. It's going to give us 3 damage. Now we also get to gain 1 damage from our precise strikes. We're at 4. Then we got 2 for every 2 shields. We get 2 damage. So we got 2, 4, and then 5 from this, plus over our defense of 8. We have totally taken out that crawler again. Or sorry, cave sickle. Oh, that's so good. So we've gone ahead and taken out the yellow cave sickle. Now, one thing we can do is take advantage of that move, and I think we're going to, which means this is going to be able to make a break attack against me, because the follow-up move from the bow doesn't say anything about ignoring break attacks. It's also not a move action, so it doesn't matter to this. I forgot to gain the +1 attack, not the end of the world. We still totally pinned that guy and destroyed him. We're going to move, I think we're going to move 1 that way, and we're going to take a break attack against us from this cave sickle. So the reason I'm taking these break attacks is because right now our cave sickle is rolling 2 white dice, and he has no hive mind to help him out. And also, if he fails his attack, I can attempt to counterattack with my ability core. Now, there is a small flaw in my plan. I cannot use my occult t-shirt to dodge because I'm standing in water. Water prevents you from dodging, and it also adds +1 to your movement when you attempt to move through water. So right now our cave sickle is rolling 2 white dice. Let's see how he does. Hopefully he does pretty terribly. Oh, good, he did pretty terribly. Perfect, that's exactly what I needed him to do. So at this point, I am going to use my ability core. I'm going to exhaust it to counter, meaning I'm again able to use my longbow against that guy, and I can use my precise strike. Now I can't empower my precise strike because I've already used it once before. So instead I just get to roll a white and purple die and hopefully take this cave sickle out in 1 shot. Oh, I got an 8. I'm not going to take it out in 1 shot. That's terrible. All right, so we hit its defense exactly, and we did 1 damage to it. Now, I also get +1 damage because of my passive right here. I get +1 physical damage. I also get +1 to my attack, so technically I got a 9 because of my bow. I haven't moved yet. So I got a 9, so I get 1, 2. I did 2 damage. I did 2 damage to this guy, that's it. All right, well, I guess 2 is better than nothing. Now, I also did create my follow-up recipe with my books again. So if I wanted to move again and let him attack me and attempt to counter him, I could. But I only have 1 stamina point. And to counter, you need 2 stamina points, so I can't even do that. So instead, we're just going to go ahead and take our 2 damage that we did. Now, that was a little risky to only do 2 damage. All right, I got the wrong card in here, so we're going to go ahead and put this one in here. We did 2 damage to our green cave sickle. We're going to put that right up there. Now, the cards are the same except for the colors on the top, not the end of the world. Now, after that risky maneuver, which I probably shouldn't have done, I still have like the shadows. I can move up to 2 spaces. This movement does not provoke break attacks. I think I'm going to do that because I want to get her out of the water. So she's going to move 1, 2 over here. I'm going to have her make her face this cave sickle. There we go. That's going to be her turn. I'm not going to use the stamina point to move because I chose to use the bow's attacking ability. So I can't actually make a move action. But Rook is going to gain 3 stamina points, and he's going to go next. He also is carrying over 2 from the last round. So he has 5 stamina points, which is going to be awesome. He's going to move. Actually, I'm going to use some of these stamina points to move. I'm going to probably use about 2 of these. Let's see how this goes. I'm going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. I have to pay extra to get out of hindering, and I have to pay extra to move through people. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to move up there. We're going to stop right there for now, 8, because he's going to perform a break attack when I move from here into Remy's square. So let's go ahead and take this break attack against us. Now, at the beginning of Rook's turn, he was able to unexhaust both his Too Many Belts and his medium shield. And we're going to go ahead and use his Too Many Belts to dodge. He is not standing in water, so he can go ahead and do that. Our Cave Sickle gets to roll 2 white dice, and that's it. But first, I'm going to roll Zeke, or it's not Zeke, Rook's dodge die. And Rook got 3 extra defense. This is going to be amazing. All right, this thing got an 8. It didn't matter what it got. It's not going to hit him with that much defense. So an 8 is going to miss completely. I'm going to go ahead and use my counterattack with my medium shield now. So we're going to counterattack with the medium shield using that and my Morning Star. So we're going to roll 2 white dice against this thing. Let's see how it goes. It went really well. This Cave Sickle's dead. All right, so 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 4. Plus the 2 here. 4, 5, 6. We've done 6 damage. That's way more than enough to kill it. Now, the cool thing is I've got the star, which if we look here, it says, follow-up. If the target of your attack was defeated, move up to 2 spaces. So I get 2 extra movement with Rook for this turn. And we're going to kill off our Cave Sickle. So we've gone ahead and killed this Cave Sickle. Now, sadly, that's not the end of our swarm. It's right here. Our swarm died when I killed the yellow Cave Sickle, which was Remy. Remy, I forgot to grab a combatant loot card for you, and you got 8 gold. Remy was able to gain 8 gold from killing off the 1 through 3 swarm. Now, I've moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, meaning that he still has 4 stamina left, and he gets to make a movement of 2. We're going to run over here and try to get this Whopper guy. All right, we're going to keep on going. I'm going to use 4 more stamina to move 4 more spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. I wonder if I should put him in hindering terrain. That probably isn't a bad idea. Or should I keep my last 2 stamina points? It's a tough call, because if I can keep 2, I might be able to get to him to Whopper next turn and maybe whop him a couple times. We're going to use 1 more, and we're going to put myself into hindering terrain. So we are leaving Rook with 1 stamina point, and we're going to move into Cave Sickles 1 through 3, but that's not going to happen. I'm going to remove their card, and Nightingale is going to slide into that position, and she's going to grab 3 stamina points herself, and she's going to use almost all of them to move as well. She's going to start with 1 to move 6 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I think she's going to keep going with her other 2 stamina. She gets 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I'm going to move her over here. I'm going to have her maybe grab this treasure chest and see what it is. And then she can maybe come down and cast that spell. That might be pretty good, because he doesn't get his armor value against that spell. If we look at our next person in line, it's going to be Zeke. Zeke also has 5 stamina points. He's going to gain 3, and he gets 2 from the last turn. So he, again, is going to use 1 to move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's got his occult t-shirt. He's going to use 2 more. 7, 1, 2. Use 2 more. 1, 2. We're going to try to get these guys down here so they can get to that guy. I think he's going to save his last 2, because he might get 1. He'll be able to run up and attack Whopper next turn. And we're going to save these 2 stamina points. And speaking of Whopper, it's Whopper's turn. Let's see what he does. Now, before we look at Whopper's card, I want to talk about this guy. He was a member of our 4 through 6 Cave Sickles that should have moved right at the beginning, but none of his AI steps actually work. Is there an opponent adjacent? No. Is there an opponent within range 4? No. Can it move and attack an opponent within range 4? No, it couldn't. It couldn't, again, jump this pit from last turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There wouldn't have been anybody up here for him to attack at the beginning of the initiative track. And also, another thing you have to worry about is, did this enemy get damaged this turn? It didn't get damaged this turn either. Otherwise, it would have gained an aggro token. But that didn't happen either. So we're going to move on to Whopper. Now, of course, I forgot this rally one last time, so we're going to make sure not to forget that. But we don't have any Cave Sickles that aren't adjacent to opponents, so none of them are going to move around. He's already adjacent to Whopper, so he doesn't have to do that. If we look at all of Whopper's AI steps here. Is there an opponent adjacent? No. Is there an opponent within range 6? No. Otherwise. So notice it doesn't say anything about having to move anywhere. It just says this is what's going to happen. Move to be up to range 6 from the nearest opponent and then spawn 2 cave sickles adjacent to Whopper. We want to make this happen as least as possible. So we're going to move Whopper 6 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he'll be up to 6 spaces away. 3, 4, 5. There. He's up to 6 spaces away from Rook. So he's right where we need him to be. And he's going to spawn 2 cave sickles. And the 2 cave sickles he's going to spawn are going to go right in front of him. Now, I could put a cave sickle right here and make an opening for Whopper, but I'm going to be a little nice to these enemies and see what happens. We're going to put both of those cave sickles there. And the 2 cave sickles I spawned were cave sickle 1 and 2. So those 2 cave sickles are spawned and ready to go. That's the end of this round. Now, actually, I lied. That's not the end of the round. When we place Cave Sickles 1 and 2, we have to re-put their initiative card back in here. And since there's no place else to go but at the end, our Cave Sickles get to activate before the end of this round. So this is actually going to be pretty terrible because these guys are going to activate. We're going to go ahead and check. Is there a person adjacent? No. Is there an opponent within range 4? Yes, there is. 1, 2, 3, 4. Both of these cave sickles can see him. And we're going to start with our red one. I just want to make sure that red outcropping isn't clipping that square there. No, I don't think it is. He's able to see Rook from right here. So this was bad. Maybe I shouldn't have... Well, at least he's an hindering trait. All right. So he's going to get attacked with a range 4 attack. And then he's going to go ahead and move to be adjacent to the opponent with the most damage within movement range. Make a melee attack, follow up, inflict poison, force 9. So none of these are damaged. The only one is Remy. And there's no way that this guy's going to be able to run over there and get to Remy. So depending on how much damage he takes, he's still the first person in line with cards in the card order. So he is going to be the target no matter what. So I'm just going to move this character 1, 2, 3, 4 right up next to Rook. And he's going to get attacked twice by this guy. Now, Rook doesn't have any other way of dodging or anything. We already used that ability. I guess I should have maybe saved it. Oh, well, we took out a cave sickle with it, so that's okay. There is one cave sickle within this cave sickle sphere of influence, so he gets to roll an orange and white die against Rook. Let's see how he does. Oh, he got a 10. All right, so that 10 is going to hit Rook. Rook has a 9 defense, and he's also got +1 because of his deflection core. So he has a 10 defense. So he's only going to take the damage based on the recipes. And our recipe is 1 physical damage for each shield. So that's 2. Now, if we look at our too many belts card here, it says passive. The first time each turn you are dealt physical damage by a melee attack, reduce physical damage by 2, dealt to you by 2. This is not a melee attack. This card is not going to work. But I can exhaust this one. It says whenever you are dealt damage, but reduce physical damage dealt to you by 2. I could exhaust this to block both the damage coming in, but I don't have to because our cuirass gives us 1 armor and our shield also gives us 1 armor. So with the 2 armor, that's going to stop both physical damage coming in against Rook. So Rook has took no damage from the original attack by this cave sickle. So we're going to go ahead and make his second attack. He's going to run up and he's going to attack him 1-on-1. Let's see how he does. Now he got an 8. Well, that's a total miss, so you don't have to worry about that. So that's the first cave sickle. Let's see how the next cave sickle does. Oh, actually, I forgot. He missed completely because I was standing in hindering terrain. I miss hindering terrain all the time, and I totally apologize. That first attack actually missed completely. It was a 10. I had an 11 defense. Now we're going to go ahead and look at this second cave sickle. And I'm going to remember he's in hindering. I got to remember that. All right, so let's see here. It says, is there an opponent within range 4? Yes, there is. Make a ranged attack, then move to be adjacent to an opponent with the most damage. So the same thing is going to happen. He's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4 right up here, and he's going to attack Rook. But first he's going to make a ranged attack, and now he gets +1 for shooting through his friend, and he gets +1 for being in hindering if I can remember when I roll the dice. So our first attack by our cave sickle gets to roll a white and orange die because of our hive mind ability. We're going to roll it up, and Rook gets +2 to defense. So a 9 is going to be a flat-out miss. He needs to... I've got a 12 defense, so this thing misses. Now he's standing next to him, and he's going to attack him with his melee attack. And his melee attack, his melee attack did a lot better. It got 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now he's only gotten 11 defense, standing and hindering, because of his ability core bringing his defense up to 10. That's great. Standing in there's 11. He got a 12. So right now I'm taking 1 physical damage. And for each of these shields, I'm taking another physical damage. Now if we look at our Too Many Belts card here, it says, the first time each turn you are dealt physical damage by melee attack, reduce the damage dealt to you by 2. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're down to only taking 1 damage. And both of my cards, my Cuirass and my Small Shield, are rocking armor. So I can reduce the damage down to 0 with my armor. Now I don't have any other stamina points or any other way to counter because this has already been used this turn. So if I didn't, I could maybe counter with it, but I don't. And I need 2 stamina points to counter, and Rook only has 1. Now that's the end of the round. Now that we've gone through both those cave sickles, we're going to put these stamina tokens back on our characters so that I can remember who has them. With that done, we're going to go ahead and mix up our initiative cards. I don't know what I think about this. I really hope our guys go first. If they don't, I think we're going to become cave sickle food here. So we're going to give them a truffle shuffle. We're going to see what befalls our characters. The first person to go is, the first person to go is Whopper. That's not even close to what I wanted to happen. The cave sickles are going next. Well, then Zeke, our human blender, gets to go. That means he's going to be the target of an attack. Nightingale's going to go next, followed by Rook. Then our second cave sickle set, Remy goes last. Well, I guess she's way in the back. It's not the end of the world. So let's go ahead and put these stamina tokens back on so I can remember who has what, because I'm about to get attacked by a whole bunch of stuff, and I'm going to need all the help I can get. So Rook and Remy both also have one. We're going to start with Whopper. He's going to be our first person to go. So the first thing Whopper's going to do is it's going to rally. It says at the start of Whopper's turn, each cave sickle not adjacent to an opponent moves 1 space towards Whopper. That's this guy here. He comes. Next, we're going to see, is there an opponent adjacent? No. Is there an opponent within range 6? Yes, there is. It's Rook. Make a 6 attack against the nearest opponent. In follow-up, inflict wilt, paralyze, force 10. Then make a range 6 attack against the same opponent, follow-up, inflict wilt, and paralyze. Now, if he misses, these follow-ups don't happen, but if he does hit, I'm going to have to take a wilt and paralyze force 10 check. That's going to be ridiculous. All right, let's see what this guy does, other than the fact that he rolls an absolute ton of dice. So with Whopper's first range attack, he gets to roll all these dice. It's going to be really bad. Now, I have the option. I have 1 stamina point remaining. I can choose to use this to dodge, and I think I'm going to because I don't want him hitting. So we're going to go ahead and roll our dodge die for him. We got a skull. Okay, that's bad. We're going to go ahead and now roll all these dice to see how Whopper does against Rook. And we got a 9. That's so good. Okay, so no matter what this die does, a 9 misses Rook. Rook is sitting right now at a 12 defense because he gets +1 defense for the Whopper shooting through his friend, and I'm standing in hindering terrain. So right now I'm sitting at a 12 defense, so a 9 misses. Now I don't have any more stamina to try to dodge, so we're just going to have to take the second attack and hope it doesn't do well. I got a 10! And he got a skull. When a skull is rolled when you're making an attack using the empowering die, the attack fails automatically. So even at the 10, that would have missed. The skull misses automatically. So that's a fantastic roll for Whopper. Thank you, Whopper, for doing absolutely terrible. So Whopper missed with all his attacks. That was fantastic. We're going to move into the next person, which is our cave sickles 1 through 3. So those are going to attack now, which is going to be practically terrible. It says here, is there an opponent adjacent? Yes, there is. Make an attack against the opponent with the most damage. Well, there aren't any other people adjacent except for Rook, so he's the one that's going to take the hit. Then it says make an attack against the same target. Then make an attack against the same target. Now, these are all follow-up attacks. So if any of these attacks miss, then that attack is going to end. But if he keeps hitting, he can hit up to 3 times with this attack. It's going to be awesomely bad. So now we're able to go ahead and roll a white and orange because there is another crawler adjacent. And both these crawlers are going to do the same thing. And I can't counter. I don't have any more stamina, and I don't have any more items that are going to allow me to counter. So our first cave sickle to attack is going to be our red one. He's going to roll an orange and white die. Let's see how he does against Rook. He got a 10. Now that misses because Rook's in hindering terrain. He needed an 11 to hit. Rook has a 10 base defense, and he gets +1 for hindering terrain. So that stops all the rest of this follow-up attack. We're going to move into our purple guy now. And our purple cave sickle is also going to roll an orange and white die. And let's see how he does. Oh, we got a 7. All right, so these guys both missed. That was absolutely awesome. This could be absolutely a devastating attack that could take out almost anybody if all these attacks keep on hitting and doing damage. But both of our cave sickles missed, so we're going to go into the next turn. So now that our cave sickles are done, oh, I'm so glad Whopper and the cave sickles have both missed. We're going to give 5 stamina to Zeke, and we're going to go ahead and see what he can do. So with Zeke, I'm going to try something, again, a little unconventional, very similar to what I did with Rook. He's going to use 1 stamina point to move. So he's going to move 1, 2. And now that I'm adjacent to this cave sickle, that cave sickle is going to get a chance to do a break attack against Zeke. So before a break attack happens, I'm going to go ahead and use our occult t-shirt. I'm going to exhaust it to dodge. So we're going to go ahead and take our dodge die and roll it up. Oh, we got 2 shields and 2 books. So that's 3 extra defense. The reason why is because of my anticipated attack. During your dodge card, 2 books equal 1 dodge, +1 to dodge. So I've got 3. Now our cave sickle gets to roll an orange and a white to see if he's able to hit me. Oh, he got a 6. He terribly missed. That's too bad for you, Mr. Cave Sickle, because now I'm going to counterattack against this Cave Sickle using my occult t-shirt. It says here, if the attack deals no damage, you can then unexhaust and then you can counter. The unexhaust part is removed from this card, but I do get to counterattack. So we're going to go ahead and take out our occult t-shirt, and we're going to hit this guy with both of our swords. We're going to create a blending machine here. We're going to go ahead and hit him with these 2 orange dice. Let's see if we can take this guy out. Now, I have other stamina points I could use to empower my attacks, but I'm not going to. I'm just hoping I can take this guy out. Oh, I got a 13. All right, that might be enough. Let's go ahead and see what happens to our poor little cave sickle here. Now, 8 over our cave sickle is going to give it, let's see if I can get these all together. There we go. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So that's 5 over the defense. That's already 5. Plus we get the 2 from our shields. It's 5, 6, 7. Plus we get this gains +1 physical damage because we comboed with a sword. So that first cave sickle did die. Let's go ahead and take care of him. So Zeke has managed to take out this cave sickle, which is really going to help. Now he's moved 1, 2. He's going to move 3, 4. And now again, I've moved while I'm adjacent to this cave sickle. So we're going to go ahead and see if we can take him out as well using our counterattacks. Now again, before our cave sickle attacks, I am going to attempt to dodge again using my defensive core this time. So we're going to take our dodge die and see how it goes. Oh, we got 1, but we got 2 books. So we got 2. I think I'm okay with that. You know, I could re-roll this dodge die with Zeke's power. It says once per turn, I can re-roll a dodge roll. I'm going to do that with Zeke. I'm going to re-roll his dodge roll. Oh, I re-rolled into 3 defense. That's so much better. All right, our cave sickle sadly doesn't have any pals with him anymore, so he can only roll 2 white dice. Let's see how he does. He got a 9. I'm sorry, Mr. Cave Sickle. Again, that's not enough to hit Zeke. Zeke is going to blending machine you again. So good. All right, so I'm going to use my fortuitous homicide to counterattack against our cave sickle. Our cave sickle is going to get hit with 2 swords again. Let's see how this goes. It's going to be awesome. We're going to go ahead and roll these swords up and see if we're able to take this guy out. Oh, we certainly are. Doesn't that roll look familiar? Another 13. I don't even have to really add this up. This happened again just moments ago. So with 13, adding all the extra stuff up here, we get 2 plus 1 is 3, plus over the defense is way more than 6. This cave sickle is also dead. So Zeke on his murderous rampage has gone ahead and killed yet another cave sickle. And that actually is going to take out our cave sickle swarms 1 through 3. So I'm going to remove this card and we're going to go ahead and draw a combatant loot card for Zeke. Zeke gains 6 gold. Way to go, Zeke. Now that means that we're going to continue on. He's moved 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to go 5, 6, 7, right down to where Whopper is, and he's going to go ahead and attack. He's got 4 more stamina left to go ahead and see what he can do to Whopper. So I'm going to use 2 stamina to attack. Now the only downside to this is I have lost all ability to dodge. So if Whopper goes before Zeke next turn and decides to make Zeke his target, I'm not going to have any way to dodge, and Zeke might take be in a world of hurt. But we're going to use 2 to attack, and we're going to save these 2 because maybe we might save them to dodge. Let's see how we do with our attack. Now our Whopper has 2 armor, so I'm going to have to do a lot of damage to get through his armor. Now I've got my 2 swords. Now also this sword over here does have that ability that When you defeat an opponent during your turn, an ally within sphere of influence heals 3. There's nobody in his sphere of influence that's hurt, which is why I didn't actually take advantage of that power. But we're going to go ahead and see what we can do about this guy. We're going to take our 2 orange dice, and I do have 2 stamina points. If I wish to, I could empower this attack. That might not be a bad idea. Let's empower this attack, and instead of making 2 separate attacks, we're going to make 1 big attack. And then we're going to go ahead and save the other one to dodge. No, I lied. We're going to go ahead and just hit him with these 2 dice. I think this is going to be good. We're going to hit him with the 2 dice and see how it goes. Oh, we got a 5. Well, I'm glad I didn't empower that attack because that's just terrible. No matter what I can do is really going to save me on this one. I do have an ability here that I can exhaust to reroll 1 of your combat dice, but rerolling 1 isn't going to save me. We're just going to go ahead and use the other 2 stamina points to hit Whopper. And we're going to use our 2 dice again to see what we can do. Oh, that's so much better. So now we got a 6, we got a 10. Now we've gone ahead and hit him pretty good. I'm actually going to go ahead and exhaust this to re-roll this dice. Hopefully I can get a better number. Oh, that 6 is so much better than the 4. But it was balancing on a 3 there, I think, for a little while. All right, so we got a 12. This is going to be so much better. Let's check out what happens to this poor cave-sickle now. So Whopper gets hit with a 12. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 4 over the defense. Yes, my math, I've got to count. So we've got 4 over his defense right now, plus we've got our 2 physical shields, so 6, plus we get 1 for having your attacks gain plus 1 physical damage. So we've got 7 damage coming in against Whopper. That's really good. So we have to subtract 2, though, from his armor, so he's going to take 5. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a 5 right up here. Now we do have one more trick up our sleeves. Actually, we got a couple. The first one is this. Remember this that we found, the fight drive? This thing's awesome. We're going to go ahead and use this. It says make a ranged or melee attack. We're going to go ahead and use that. We're going to put our use token on this. And now we're going to make another attack with these 2 swords. This is going to be great. So let's see how we do. Now we have to remember we've exhausted this sword. We're not allowed to use the reroll anymore. So let's see. Oh, maybe I shouldn't do it. Maybe I should save it for another time. I lied. We're going to save our fight drive for another time. Instead, I'm just going to throw some knives. I'm going to discard this and throw a knife. We roll a purple die and do damage. We did 6. Oh, that's good. Now 6 minus 2. It does get to subtract its armor value. So we did 4 more damage. So right now we've done a total of what, 9 damage to Whopper? That's not too bad. All right, I'm liking that. Now I have to discard this card. So now that Zeke went, it's Nightingale's turn. She's going to gain 3 stamina points, and let's see what she can do. I think Nightingale's goal is that yellow chest. So she's going to use 1 stamina point to move, and she's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So she's adjacent to this. Use another stamina point, and she is going to go ahead and grab our yellow chest and see what we find inside it. Our yellow loot chest states, gain 1 mundane/common consumable. All right, I'm going to show you how to do that. So we're able to grab a consumable from either the common deck or the mundane deck, depending on what we want. Now, if it would have said a random mundane or common consumable, I would have had to mix both of these decks together and then draw one at random. It can be a little tricky, but you do have to mix all the decks together if it did say to call for a random consumable. But it didn't. It said to pick one. And Nightingale's going to gain more throwing knives. I'm digging the throwing knives. We're going to go ahead and grab more of these. Not to mention, I don't really want to spoil too many of the common ones. I really want to just stay in the mundane area. So we're going to grab throwing knives. That's going to do it for Nightingale. We're going to move into Rook's turn. He's going to gain 3 stamina points, and he's going to use 2 of them to move. He's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he can stand next to Whopper as well. I'm hoping a lot of our guys go before Whopper. If Whopper goes first again, we're going to be in big trouble. With Rook done, we're going to move into our Cave-Sickle's turn, and let's see what he does. Now, if we look at our Cave-Sickle's card here, it says, is there an opponent adjacent? No. Is there an opponent within range 4? No, there's not. This red will block an attack against Zeke or Rook, so that's not going to happen either. Can it move and attack an opponent within range 4? Yes, move to be at range 4 from the nearest opponent, then make a range 4 attack. So he's going to move, 1, 2, 3, right about down to there. Let's just move him to there, and he can make an attack from there. And he's going to attack Zeke because Zeke is further along the line in the path. Actually, if I move down here, he's safer, and he's going to still be able to get Zeke, I believe. Yes, he can still get Zeke. Now, he's going to be shooting through Whopper, so Zeke is going to gain a +1 to defense. Now our cave sickle, being all alone again, only gets 2 white dice against Zeke. Let's see how he does. Oh, we got a 4. That's absolutely pitiful. Our cave sickle missed. We're going to move on to Remy's turn. Now Remy's going to go ahead and gain 3 stamina, and she has 1 from before, and she's going to use that one to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I believe she has the occult t-shirt. Yes, she does. So she's going to use another 2 to try to get into position to make an attack. Let's see if she can hit Whopper from there. I don't think she can. No, it's still going to cross through that red square there. So I'm going to use 1 more stamina to just kind of move into position for next turn. So that's the end of our second round. We're in a full-on battle with Whopper and some of his little cave sickle buddies. I think we're doing okay. We did 9 already to him. We only need to do, what, 41 more. Let's hopefully, if everybody does 10, we'll be really good. But this is where we're going to stop for now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying the playthrough. This game is so much fun. Don't forget to check out Succubus Publishing's website, Facebook page, email, and also their YouTube page. They're all going to be in the comments below. And at the time of this recording, the Middara Kickstarter is still going on. Please go take a look at it. Do you think we can take down Whopper, or do you think he will take down our party? And should maybe I just have Remy try to figure out what to do with the bug bomb and not have to deal with Whopper? That might be the better plan. To see what happens to our brave adventurers, I'm going to need you to meet me at the table.